Southern California, inventing the future and honoring the past since 1880.
Welcome back to See You at USC. We are still here talking with Cody Deal, but I want to remind you that we always love hearing from you here at CU, so shoot us over an email at cu@trojanvision.com right down here, and if it's good enough, I'll even forward it on to him. Ladies, I know you think he's cute. So I definitely want to continue off of what you were saying, the Underdog Story. What has been happening in this past 22 months, in these past months for you?
Well, and when I talk about this, it's just, it's just real. It's not, I want people to feel a certain way or not. It's just, when I started, the first 30 days I lived here, I started blogging about my life experience.
Right.
Like I wanted to give people a real life opportunity to look into, see what it's like to really pursue this business. Yeah. So I created a blog site called HollywoodandBeyond.com, and where I weekly blog about my adventures in LA. Mm-hmm. And I've lived out here for 22 months, like I mentioned, and 2 of those months I spent living in the back of my car. There's just, I don't think people realize the real difficulty of managing a full-time job and trying to have the flexibility and time to pursue this business. Right. So I spent the first 12 months living here working on the craft and the technique. I did not go on any auditions whatsoever.
Wow.
Because I was focused on career and not quick fix. I was focused on putting in the work that I knew needed to be there, just like training as a collegiate athlete. So, and then it hasn't even been a year since we started actively auditioning, and me getting my agent in July of last year, that we started to book a lot of things.
Okay.
And it wasn't 3 months after I was living in the back of my car that we landed Almighty Thor. And so people, and then recently I've landed a Cinemax television series that's airing in October.
Right.
I've shot another comedy action feature film. So things have been really picking up, and people are really kind of embracing that story of, of how that happened.
Right. But of course for you it's not a story, it's what actually happened.
Yes. And so I blog about, I give kind of like, just an open book journal of like my ups and downs, because I believe in life it's just as much about the downs as it is the ups. Right. And we learn equally as much from both. I actually auditioned for Spartacus Blood and Stand for the role of Spartacus the month before I auditioned for Almighty Thor, and I missed it. Yeah. And I trained so hard, and I was devastated because I missed it, because I felt so right about it. Yeah. I was too young. They didn't like the face. They liked the face, but it was just not right. And so then next month, we ended up landing Almighty Thor, and I knew what gave me the confidence to go into that one was the confidence that Paul Weber, the casting director, gave me, calling my agent saying, Cody brought in a level of confidence I never expected. 2 weeks after that, he saw my agent at an award show, and he said, "This guy's gonna do a lot of great things." Yeah. And so again, where I thought I struck out was actually a win in my book, because it gave me the confidence necessary to get on that set. And now landing Almighty Thor, there's just again, I think we grow in steps. Yeah. I think from coming from Kansas, being the valedictorian in my high school, which I was impossible for me at one time in my life. Yeah. Being on television one time was impossible when I was living in Vegas. I thought I couldn't. Yeah. Starring in my own film was impossible at one time. And so I always hope that my story can be a direct reflection of like human potentiality and what we can do in our lives and stuff like that. I always want people to see, as far as I get, that I'm no different than anybody else, and that we can all do exactly what I'm doing and pursuing whatever avenue that we want to pursue.
But I mean, something has to be special, because so many people, as you know, move out here and they waitress for like 25 years and they never make it. They never make it out of there.
Yes.
And you've made it so quickly. And I think that's the story that people are really latching on to.
People tell me I'm one of the rare actors that have hit so quick, and what's contributed, what is contributing to that. And I think it's just that, I think we all have a light inside. I think we all have an inner compass, if you will. And I used to let other people who have been in this business a lot longer than me direct my career. Yeah. And now I've kind of focused that, I know I have something inside that's directing my footsteps. And I think the supportive net out there, like the universe, the world, whatever you want to call it, I think I have a supportive net that says whatever I want to create, I can. And I believe that all the forces of nature are kind of there supporting me every step of the way. So I don't think I have anything different. I just think I've embraced my light, kind of like Thor did. One of the coolest things about Thor is you get to see him embrace his own light. You get to see him in his given circumstances, how he embraces his godliness, his divinity. Right. And I think we all have a divinity or a greatness inside that we can embrace too.
You're embracing your godliness.
If you want to call that godlike quality, yes.
Okay.
I certainly am, and I feel like that's what's made me successful.
Fantastic. Okay, tell me about the Cinemax movie and the other film you were talking about.
Okay, I just want to throw out the Cinemax episode.
Yeah.
I'm a recurring character in a show called A Girl's Guide to Privacy. It's produced by Steve Beswick, who produced Legion. He's a really great guy. But it airs in October on Cinemax. Cinemax has changed their whole new lineup of entertainment. They're like they just got Transporters with Jason Statham, the movie series. They're now making a TV series with him. Ridley Scott and his brother are doing a TV series for Cinemax.
Great.
So this is a half-hour comedy. And my guy's in 3 episodes. He's a funny dude.
Yeah.
And if it gets picked up after season 1, he'll definitely be in the mix in season 2 where he's needed. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Well, so what is that like, going from a very dramatic sort of like He-Man role to comedy? That's sort of very different.
Comedy I love. I absolutely I love it. I'm actually a pretty funny guy.
Do you prefer it?
Most people don't think I am, but
Do you
I think
prefer
I am.
it to drama?
I do. I actually prefer, I've done so much action, and I want to do a nice dramatic piece, just like drama, no action, please. You know, I just want, I want that. But I did a comedy action Super Seeds. It's a low budget one. Who knows where it goes, but it was produced by Rainfall Films.
Okay.
And it's like a super bad, but with superpowers.
Wow.
And I play Mark Hardon.
Okay. Oh.
So like
It's one of those
USC guys and girls, yes, about these kids who stumble across these superpowers. So I go from superhero Thor to supervillain Mark Hardon.
Okay.
And
wow.
he makes a lot of jokes.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying. But he makes a lot of jokes. He's a funny
Very
guy.
sophisticated jokes.
Actually, he's really witty with his words. You think most like jocks in A&F poster boys are kind of dumb, and they play dumb and they play physical.
Yeah.
Although he plays physical, he's really witty and smarmy and smiley with his words. So when he disses you, he's always happy. So it's a totally different than Thor, who's always like really serious and wants to prove who he is, and tense, and just can't have fun. Very rarely do you see Thor laugh. I don't know if you do. You know, here Mark's always laughing.
Got it.
So it's good to bounce between genres, and I want to be able to always do that. I think Ryan Reynolds is a good example. He started Van Wilder. Now he's doing Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You know, he's bounced around everywhere. He's done everything. I think he's a good role model to kind of support a career around.
Yeah. Now, some actors that really do start out in the epic roles, in the superhero sort of genres, have a hard time breaking out. I mean, obviously, do you feel typecasted with your muscles and your hair and all of that stuff?
I can't run away from what I have.
Yeah.
You know, and it's part of my entire package, you know, and I mean, as you said when I walked in here, you said, I heard you were really big, and they weren't lying, you know? I mean, I stand out in the room. I don't look physically proportionate to the average person on camera. So the roles that I take on are very selective. I've lost about 15 pounds since I've done Thor.
Okay.
That's to make me feel more mainstream, you know? But we know these opportunities are going to present themselves. When people see this and they see it's low budget and they know how it was shot, and if they can say, wow, he looks really amazing there. What could he look like in a big budgeted production with the actual time to put up his best work?
Right.
We know the offers are probably going to show up. But at the same time, I want to be open to whatever I can do, but I'm not running away from that. I don't mind doing action, especially when I'm young and in shape and physically appealing. And then when I get older, maybe, you know, something different.
Got it. Tell me about the bulking up process for Thor. I mean, did you look like this coming in, or was there a lot of effort that went into this?
There was no bulking up process simply because they had to find someone who looked like Thor.
Got it. So there was no, like, take a bean pole and make him into a god sort of situation.
Chris Hemsworth. I liked what Marvel did is they chose, Randy Hiller, the casting director, chose a Thor, Chris Hemsworth, that never lifted weights in his life. He just was athletic.
Yeah.
And so it took 6 months for him to bulk up.
Right.
I like that they chose him based on his acting ability. Although I might have got away with them choosing me a lot for my body, what I'm proving to everybody by the producers, and hopefully when they see this film, that I can carry a film based upon my acting. And that's what I hope. That's what I hope people will see in this film when they watch it.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your personal life.
Okay. What would you like to know?
I mean, are you single? Are you dating the youngest things in Hollywood? What's going on?
You know, you hear so many things about, you know, Hollywood actors.
Yeah.
You know, and how they're, you know, womanizers, alcoholics, drug addictions, and just completely messed up.
I mean, you said it, not me. But all right.
My story's pretty boring if you want to go real life. You know, I have a beautiful girlfriend that actually just moved here today from Kansas.
Oh my goodness.
She's sitting in the studio here with us.
Oh.
And she was actually here. So she's moved here, so we were doing a long distance thing,
right?
So
which is hard.
It was very hard.
Yeah.
So that was awesome, and then as well, you know, I'm just one of those guys that spends a lot of time reading and writing and just kind of going in inner reflecting.
Yeah.
But I'm also very active with sports and stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of like my what I do. I write, I blog, I journal, I read. I'm a nerd at heart. I'm a geek at heart.
But you realize once the 7th comes along, I mean, a sex symbol status is sort of inevitable at that point.
Okay, we'll see. I don't know. You know, if that comes along with the territory, that comes along with the territory.
Right.
But you know, I think you know, I hope a lot of kids can watch this film because it's like the perfect kid film. They'll look past the visual effects, and I hope that, you know, I can be a stand-up guy not only for adults because I do the sober living. I think I'm a pretty decent role model. So I just don't think there's enough of that going around in Hollywood. And so that's what I look forward to, is being in a position to be able to
be a role model.
Be a role model for individuals.
That's great. Now, for all of the people watching who want to get into this industry so desperately, who think that it's impossible, that you have to have connections in Hollywood in order to do that, what do you say to them? What advice do you have?
I had zero contacts in this industry whatsoever. I had absolutely nothing. I just had a will and a heart to pursue it. And I feel like if people kind of just invest more time in themselves and looking at why they're really pursuing this, when there was times living in my car where I really asked, is this worth it? And I really found out that my story was a lot bigger than just Cody. My story was, you know, that I can show people that I'm not living a lie in my life, that we can become what we want to become. And that gave me a drive that said, if I can do it, then my beliefs are real.
Got it.
You know, and it became much more bigger than me being in a film. It became how I view life and how I wanted to view life. And that was such a huge will to make me do anything necessary to prove that my viewpoint of the world was positive, and we do have this supportive net, and we do have, and it's just an uncommon faith I have, and it's an uncommon result you get.
Yeah. Last few seconds, 5 years from now, what is the goal? What's the dream?
My goal is to be the youngest Academy Award winner. That's a far out goal. It was a far out goal a long time ago, starring in a film. So you never know what happens in 5 years. I'm 25. I have 4 years to do it. At 29, Adrian Brody won it in 2003 for The Pianist. So 4 years, who knows what might happen, but that is the ultimate goal. Not for the prestige, just for, again, reaching the impossible, because it was a dream that I had once in my heart.
And to prove those acting chops.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. It was such a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
And we will definitely all be watching on the 7th. This is See You at USC, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was